Folks, going back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour right here on TFNN.com. And we're checking things out now, seeing where everything's at. We got the S&P is currently up about 5 points on the day. And looking over at the Russell right now, up 1.7 with the NASDAQ up 9.5 and the Dow up 26 points. Moving up after that nice little move down earlier this morning. We took a nice trade there on the bull-bear binary hour. And the S&P had one on the Dow. Risked a little less on it just in case it didn't keep going. It was a little bit more of a long shot. If you took your profits off, you took a nice profit. If you didn't, then you got to still be up if you took the S&P, sort of how we laid out the trade there. Looking on over at our metals, we got copper right now is up 0.5%. Gold is pretty flat on the day at the moment. We got silver flat as well. Natural gas currently down almost 1%. Oil down currently about 79 cents. Been some big volatility going on in the oil market today. Hopefully you're able to take advantage of a little bit of that. Looking on over at the ag markets, we got corn flying up 10 points. We got soybeans up 15. Big moves right there in the ags. And we got the, everything's waking up this week, so it's been pretty nice. We got a euro dollar right now. Euro dollar is currently up mere 5 pips after that massive move yesterday. We got the euro pound up 22. We got the dollar franc down 4. US yen is currently down 15. Euro yen is currently up 2 with the Aussie yen up 21. That King dollar is currently down a little bit on the day. And we got the bonds moving in higher territory. All right, so that gives you your current market wrap on where everything's at. We had a little bit going on with the news this morning. And so let me check that out. I'll bring it on up. And we'll go through our news trading plan from this morning, and we'll talk about a little bit of what we need to get set up for next week. So right here, just looking at the news from today, and going, hey, what do we have on the list that we could, take advantage of? Basically, we had the main thing was the U.S. unemployment rate and the payroll happening at the same time as the dollar CAD. So let me go ahead and open up a chart for you on that, and we'll just start running through what all happened here. And I'll get rid of a couple things to lighten this chart up some. There we go. Gives us a little bit more room to see everything that's going on. And we got the S&P, by the way, right now. It's currently up deviation from the low. So pushing on that right now. And that's after it moved on down about half a deviation. That was the trade we took on this morning. We went short. We bought back right as it hit the expected movement on the hour. And look at it pop right on back up. And decided to break on through settlement this time. Moving on up, and like I said, hitting right now at a 1 deviation move up on the day. All right, well, let's go ahead and switch on over. Let's look at how the FX pairs reacted to the NFP report this morning. Checking out the Aussie dollar first, and we're looking usually for an 8 to 10. You could also look at 7 to 3 as a possibility. So. And if we go in and look at, how do we do, how'd the market do? If we look at just the 8 to 10, pretty flat trade, but lots of implied volatility built in. We only got 23 pips on the 8 to 10 move, and it's pulled on back. It had that big spike right there, about 40 pips, so way less than normal. And I'm really glad that we stuck to the Iron Condors on this one this round. Looking on over, and let's check out the euro dollar. And on the euro dollar, often we'll get a move as large as 100 pips. We said, hey, we want to bring in $60 profit on this one. And again, you may go to the 3 o'clock on it, and because a lot of times it'll pop and then it'll fall right back on NFP day. And you can see that really did happen. Right here, we got the movement. It came out 8 o'clock. We got a spike on up at 8:30 there, only about 35 pips on it. And so lots of nice profit right there. We're basically flat on the day currently. Only 2 pips off where we're at 8 o'clock this morning, or even 7 o'clock. So not a lot going on there. Sort of exhausted those FX markets yesterday with that interest rate announcement. And really the news wasn't that off of the expectations. So going over, checking out the pound dollar, seeing how that one worked out. We're going over to 8 o'clock. Got a little bit bigger move on the pound. And looks like, let me expand my bars out a little bit so I can, there we go, see that close bar. And so right over here, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. About 35 pips on the high side there, moved up about 47, and currently sitting at 17. So we expected it to stay, at most moves 100 pips. Really a light day again. A lot of exhausted movement from the move yesterday. We're looking for a $70 minimum profit on that. Right now we're doing great. So, very profitable Iron Condor trade if you were able to take advantage of it. And let's go on over to the dollar CAD. Now, that's a little bit different instrument, right, because we had all the Canadian announcements coming out as well. As you can see, we had their employment change, their unemployment rate being released at the same time. Dollar CAD usually moves about 75 pips off of this release. And but again, probably pretty flat based on everything from yesterday moving so big. Going on over looking at this, we did get a big spike down. I mean, just a massive spike, 40 pips. Not too shabby. Usually in about the first 15 minutes, all the move that's going to happen has happened. Well, it did. It popped back up. It settled on out right on over here at 0. Literally unchanged pricing. And currently we're sitting at, if you're looking at the 3 o'clocks, 1 pip off. So obviously a lot. Whatever premium you got, you're sitting on it right now. And going on into the dollar franc on this one, we went through all these yesterday. Looking at range-bound trades, straddles are an option, but usually the preferred option is the Iron Condor, just because it doesn't have to move, and your break-even is so wide. Looking on over at the dollar franc, we got a movement of 92 pips on average, but lately, again, movement from yesterday took a lot of that velocity out. 29 pips. We go over, we take that on to 10 a.m., netted out 12, and currently we are sitting at a movement of 0. So we are unchanged, meaning 100% profit right now on that trade going into the last couple hours of the session here for Forex, which closes its pits down at 3 o'clock. And going into the U.S. yen as well. And again, all this is doing Iron Condors using Nadex spread options over on the Nadex, the North American Derivative Exchange platform located in Chicago. And so we're going over here, checking this out, and we'll take this 8 to 10. Got a movement of about 34 pips. We'll go over here, we'll take this currently, got a move of just 11. And then from the high to the low before expiration there, 48. So it was actually, USM was the biggest mover out of all of them. But nevertheless, still a very profitable trade. Pulled on back, and majority of the profit was captured. So great, another just neutral Iron Condor. So, again, you could have started those as early as 7 for the 3 o'clocks as well, which would have put a little bit more premium into your pocket there. Sometimes that is required on some of these. Okay, so that gets us caught up on today's events. But what do we got coming up next week? So that was a great welcome back from, Labor Day weekend week with all that news coming out. And let's, got the volatility picking up. And we were talking about this morning, the indices been, dancing around at those highs and hoping it's a last dance. And they start falling down, giving us some nice volatility there. So we'll see what comes of that over the next couple weeks. But let's see here. There'll be some questions from an FOMC member Saturday. Might be a little volatility on that. On the open on Sunday, if something weird came out of a Q&A. But not expecting a whole lot. Okay? But just be aware of it, that it's on Saturday, but it'll impact the market Sunday, that there could be a gap on the indices if, some surprise statement comes out of the FOMC member Plosser's speech that she does with the open Q&A. She's talking to bankers. So on Saturday at 10:15. Okay, so just to be aware of it, and shouldn't really impact you as a Nadex trader, but for any other traders out there. Scrolling on down to Sunday, got a bank holiday in China, so be aware of that. That could just lighten up, some of the trading there. The impact on Aussie and yen can be lightened up a little bit. But let me see if I got on my list the impact here for the yen. Yeah, not really much there. So I'm not worrying about it. Just be aware at 7:50 on Sunday that they have their final GDP, which is just like the final number. They've already reported the number a couple times. So usually not a major impact, but it nevertheless is one that you should be aware of, okay? Again, that's 7:50 on Sunday if you're trading that evening. yen is releasing final GDP. Scrolling on over to the next one, we got the trade balance. Let's see here. Just trying to go through and see what all we got. Let's see, building permits in Canada. There we go. Okay. That's one trade we can put on our list. Let's see, Frank CPI. Yep, we can add that to the list. Okay, so we got that. We got Frank CPI and retail sales both happening at the same time. Let's see, going on down. Be aware. So I'll come back to those three announcements. Be aware, monetary policy meeting minutes coming out of the yen at 7:50 on Monday night. Okay, so Monday night that's coming out. And then another be aware event, 9:30. We're going to have the business confidence report coming out of Australia. So when I say be aware, I'm just saying, hey, the market could get rocked a little bit and more than you might expect, and you'll sort of be like, where'd that come from? And then it'll go away pretty quick usually. And then we got home loans in Australia as well. Okay, so that gives us, that's really going to be our Monday right there. Let's go ahead and walk through how to put that together and put it into a plan of action that we can take advantage of. So let's start off, I guess, with the Frank here, and we'll look at the building approvals and CPI, see what all we can find. Not building approvals, but let's see what we got. Got building approvals on Canadian, so I'll do that second. We'll do CPI first. And I don't think we have the Halifax there. Halifax report. Nope. Okay. So CPI on the Frank. Let's see. Last released on, August 6th. Let me see if I have that one on there. August 6th. Scrolling back a month. And there we go. Frank CPI. And it looks like what we're looking for on the U.S. dollar Frank CPI trade. Oh, commercial's up. I'll let you know exactly the Iron Condor to look for when we get back right after this. All right, folks, going back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. So right now we're just going through the plan for the news for this coming week, getting you all set up for Monday. And the first trade on our list is that dollar Frank on the Frank CPI release. And release is coming out at 3:15 on Monday. And here September 8th. What we're looking for is to find an Iron Condor on the dollar Frank, entering as early as 11 o'clock with an expiration of 7 a.m. Okay, the following day. So a Tuesday expiration. Okay. And so Monday we're entering, or actually I guess it's Sunday we're entering for a Monday expiration. And so entering Sunday night for the Monday 7 a.m. expiration for a $25 minimum take profit on the trade. And let's see here. What else do we have? We also got on our list, that's our dollar Frank, all taken care of. We'll get on over at the dollar CAD. So on the CAD, they have their building permits coming out at 8:30. And so let's see what we can do about that to take advantage of it. And, let's see. I know I got this one. Just need to find it now on my list. But, let's see, dollar CAD building permits. And let me go back maybe a couple more reports here. I'm just trying to locate it on my historical stuff that I compare it to my new information so I can keep track of them all as they're coming out. And let's hit the last few. Let's see here. Might be adding this one onto our list. So let me go back one more and see if I can find it. Yeah, it looks like we're adding this one to our list. So let's do a little review of it, see how it comes out, put the pieces together, and maybe we'll have this as a new trade on our list. Keep adding on more and more different announcements as time goes by. We'll be looking mainly at an 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. expiration with an 8:30 a.m. release. And looking at that for what we could do on this trade, 10 o'clock looks like we got 15. Then we got 15 pips. We got another 15. That's pretty consistent so far. 15 again. Wow. 19. I got a little bigger one there. We got, let's see, about 50. Then we got 45. Looking at 10, 30, 17 pips, 9 pips, and basically 0. So we got a few big ones in there. That's going to make us push that number up a little bit to let the profitability and probabilities work out over the course of a year. That means what we're looking at is we're looking at about a 25 pip minimum reward on that dollar CAD trade. So entering at 8 a.m. for a 10 a.m. expiration for a 25 pip minimum profit. And I imagine you'll be able to get more than that, but at least that much would be the minimum I'd want to go for on that trade. Okay? Just doing the news Iron Condors. Of course, you can do them around the clock using the expected ranges like we talked about this morning. Going on in, let's look at the next trade we have on the list. Let's see, I had IVP in mind. I don't think we want that one. We got building permits. Let's go on down here to home loans. And let's see what we got. A retail sales report. That sort of actually comes up the exact same as the CPI, so we don't have to worry about that. You can basically group retail sales and the CPI on the franc into one trade. So we already with the stats on that $25, enter at 11 for a 7 a.m. expiration. That's CPI and retail sales on the franc. Coming on down to the Aussie dollar for Monday night, 9:30 expiration, or 9:30 release time. And let's see here, pulling it up, looking through all the pieces. And let me see what I got that we can put together. Let's see. Last one, we didn't add it in on the last round. Looking at the one before that. And I just, I keep trying to add more and more and more of these trades in just to give you, if nothing else, it gives you an idea of what to expect on each trade. Ideally, we can also get the fills that we're looking for. But on the home loans, looks like, yeah, we did it in July as well. On the Aussie home loans and the last report, we got a movement between 6 and 11 at 11 o'clock. There's only 12 ticks off at about a 27 tick move. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to go for a 6 o'clock entry with an 11 o'clock expiration. And I just want to see if we can tighten it up at all. We've been tightening a lot of these up. It's been working really well for us to help us get more fills. And I think we may be pretty close to the same requirement on this trade. So, which is right around 30 pips. Minimum profit on the Aussie dollar home loan trade. Entering at 6 for an 11 p.m. expiration on Monday night. All right, that wraps up Monday. We'll knock out the rest of the week as we get on back here from break. All right, folks, we'll come back here to the Diagnostic Trading hour here. And let's look at 5 things at once. All right, so we just knocked out Monday for our news trades. Let's go ahead and check out what we got up and coming for Tuesday and put that on the list. So right here with Tuesday in line. And like I said, it's getting all those different pieces together. We got first thing, Bank of England Governor Carney's going to be speaking, so you need to put a be aware event. If you are trading in those hours, or you have a trade overnight, things like that, obviously that can have a, it's not going to be a massive impact. It's just a speech. It's not a massive speech. But he's basically doing, what is he doing? The speaking. So nothing massive, but nevertheless, be aware of it. You never know, especially after the interest rate announcement that came out this week, what might come out of his mouth. Let's see here. Going on down, we got a trade balance and manufacturing production. Okay, so let's see if any of those might fit our requirements. And going through and just looking to see if I can find any of them here that would work for us. And if they will, then awesome. If not, then we'll move on. But I think we might have a few of these. I just like to get the entire plan together for you. Okay, so looking on over at the pound, and we got our manufacturing production report. We also have our trade balance report, so we'll look at both of those. And then let's see, we got JOLTS job openings, wouldn't worry about that. GDP estimate, wouldn't worry about that. I didn't even really pay attention to that one ever. So, estimated value of all goods and services produced by the economy during the previous 3 months. Might be, probably put a be aware. Let's watch that one, just see what happens, okay? But basically, it's sort of it's a company's release on what they think the GDP will be. So I'd be watching that definitely if I trade pound dollar at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. Let's go ahead and add that to our list. Okay. And then, like I said, jolts and stuff we don't really worry about. So that leaves us again back on the pound. We got manufacturing production and we got trade balance happening at the same time. And so let's look those up. Let's come up with our plan, put the pieces together. And again, all this, if you're new to this is hopping on over to tfnn.com, okay? And go over to the right side where it says Nadex. Click on that banner right there. And get yourself a demo trading account. Costs nothing. Fill in your username, first name, last name, phone, email address. Click apply for demo. They right now it's only for U.S. residents. But as of next Thursday, they're changing their rules, and they're actually allowing international residents to sign up. Currently, it'll be limited to international residents that are in U.S. territories, in Canada, and in Mexico. And then they'll continue to add on more as time goes by. But go ahead and right now, let's go ahead and get your demo account. Let's get that set up. Apply for that demo. Check your email. You can log in, and then check out their education section. They have all sorts of webinars and education that you can use, and then also hop on over to the TFNN section, and you can check out the spread scanner and all the binary scanner and all the tutorials that come with that. Check that out for free. Okay. So what we're doing what's called a Iron Condor. We're buying a lower spread, selling an upper spread. We're basically just collecting premium. And that's how the trade works. Okay, so looking at, like I said, we're back on track here over at the manufacturing production report. So the last one came out on August 6th. And looking at August right now, trying to put that together for you. Let's see here. Looks like we didn't have a trade on it last month. Month before that, might have had one. Let's go in, dig a little deeper. Nope, we didn't trade that one. Still going. And let's look a little bit further back. And let's try to see if I said I'm always adding ones to the list, so we don't know which ones we're going to have until it's able to pull it up. Looks like we have just a be aware event on it. So I'm going to go back and double check it and look at the actual stats and see. Usually when I put that and I have the stats on it, that means it's inconsistent. Let's see what's happened here over the last few times. It actually moved down 45 pips, but pulled back to 16 by 7 a.m. Let's see, the previous one was 6.5, 35, 59, 19, 14, 28, 11, 17, 29. Really, it's not that bad. So we only have one that was really a big mover out of the entire thing. I think we can safely go in and look at for consistency over the last 12 reports. Ideally, looking at least 25, if not a 30 pip. Let's go for 30 pips just to make it a little safer. 30 pip minimum profit on the manufacturing production and trade balance report for the pound on Tuesday night. That's entering at 11 p.m. on Monday night for the 7 a.m. Tuesday expiration. Okay? Release comes out at 4:30 a.m. on Tuesday. And that's just where you just put it on, you set it, you forget it, you let it do its thing. Okay? So that will be our trade there for Tuesday. There's really nothing else happening on Tuesday, a lot quieter day. Rolling on into Wednesday. We got a little bit more going on. New Zealand dollar is going to have its cash rate coming on out. Make sure you put a be aware on that. That can easily impact the Aussie dollar when it opens. So if you're holding a binary over the expiration there, the close from 5 to 6, or just when it opens right up, then you can definitely see the Aussie can get moved around on that potentially. So just be aware of it. I know it's a New Zealand dollar announcement, but it's just like the China announcements. It should affect the Aussie. Okay, so be aware of that potential impact. Looking on over at what else we have on the week. We got inflation report hearings. That shouldn't be anything. We got our crude oil inventory. We're going to be looking at spike tracker, so make sure you got that going on for 10:30 on Wednesday, back to the normal day. This week it was a little bit off because of the holiday, so they did the report on Thursday. And scroll on down a little bit later in the evening, we have employment change in the unemployment rate, along with the CPI and PPI numbers coming out of China. So first thing I'll tell you to go ahead and put a be aware. CPI and PPI being released out of China can have a potentially significant impact on the yen and the Aussie. That's at 9:30. Okay, that's again at 9:30 on Wednesday evening. The one trade we really have on the list, we'll have to look at the employment change and unemployment rate. And let me pull that up for you. We'll go through it, okay? So on that, with the employment change and unemployment rate report, let me open that up and look at the last couple reports and combine it on with the most recent one. All right. On the Aussie, let's see here. Don't seem to have it on the last one. What about on July 9th? We'll go on back to that and see if we have it there. Okay, so I got that trade. Looks like we were looking for $35. Let's see how that did on the last report. We got a release. Because the release comes out at 9:30, so we're looking at a 6 to 11 on the trade. Got a pretty big move on it on the last release. Let's see, at 11 o'clock it was down like 59 pips. Moved pretty big. One before that it was 33, 45, 20. So we got some pretty big moves on this. I would actually, looking at this trade and how it's moving, I would flip the employment change and unemployment rate. I would actually say go for a straddle. And I'd be looking at a $35 maximum risk on the trade. Ideally less than that, but a maximum risk. And if the thing moved, 60 pips, I'd be out of the trade. I mean, there are a couple times when it will move flat. And it looks like when it moves, you get a majority of the movement that's going to happen. Let's see, it happens in literally the first 15 minutes. So I'd be looking to actually close this trade within 15 minutes of opening it. And I'd be trailing it up or down on every bar. So like I'd be watching 5-minute bars. Every time a bar closes, I'd be trailing my stop. Okay? So that way if it falls back, I'm out. Because every once in a while it'll pop up and then just fly back. But trailing it up on every bar, get out of the trade if it nothing happens. And basically give it 15 minutes, and at the end of 15 minutes, just take it and you call it a day. If it moves 60 pips before then, take it. Okay? So we got 35 max risk on a straddle. Trail your stop on every 5 minutes after the release at 9:30. Close it at if you're up 60 pips of movement, not $60 of profit, 60 pips of movement, then take the trade off. Okay? And at the end of 15 minutes, take the trade off. So make sure you get all those details in that trade for working that one out. And I'm just looking through, all the charts for the last 12 releases. That looks like the best way to put it all together. Going on back over here, we got, let me see what else we have. Looks like ES is definitely still pulling back. Went up, hit that 2,000 level again, and hit the deviation move, and it's been pulling on back. So let's see, what else do we got? That really wraps up Wednesday for you. It's going to be pretty quiet right there. Hopping on into Thursday. Nothing overnight of any significance there. We got unemployment claims in the morning, of course. Go ahead and add that to your Spike Striker list. We got natural gas storage at 10:30. Add that to Spike Striker. And that's it. That is Thursday. So it's a quiet Thursday. Hopping on over to Friday. Bank of Japan Governor Kurata is going to do a speech. So I definitely have that on your, be aware of it. If you're a morning trader, go ahead and add that to 2:05 a.m. Bank of Japan Governor Kurata is going to be speaking. So that obviously can impact the yen. And let's see, what do we got over here? We got industrial production happening in the euro. So let's see if we have stats on that one. And we do. All right. What else do we have? We have core retail sales and retail sales right here in the U.S. So we can add that to our list here if we have them. Yeah, we got the retail sales numbers there. And consumer sentiment, we're not going to worry about that. Okay. So the two trades rule, we got industrial production for the euro dollar. Retail sales will also trade the euro dollar. And let's see, industrial production, that is scheduled to be released on Friday at 5 a.m. And what kind of move are we looking for? So let's check it out and see. Over here, let me pull up the last time it came on out. And there's a lot of stuff coming out at one time last time. Let me go back another one there and try to check out a few of these. So we'll check out July, and we'll also go in and check out June. Let's see, July, nothing really happening there. It did have a move on the trade of, what was our movement last month on this release? Looking at the industrial production by 7 a.m. It's like 3 pips. So that was a great Iron Condor. And then going back, let's see, 612. Checking that out. on June 12th. Yeah, not much going on there. We do have the retail sales report. Okay, retail sales. I've got that one done. I'll bring that up in just a second. I just need to knock out this industrial production report. Got to find one that'll work for us. And let's see, 5. Let's look at May. Let's see here, and if not, then we maybe it's be a new one we have to add into the list. All right, so let's add it on in. I guess since we're going to add that in, I'm going to go ahead and jump into retail sales because I have those numbers up in front of me. Okay, so in the retail sales, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. So we're going to enter at 8 for a 10 a.m. expiration on the euro dollar. We're going to do an Iron Condor. We're going to enter at 8 a.m. for 10 a.m. again, and that's going to be for $25 or more profit, $25 minimum profit, buying the lower spread, selling the upper spread. Okay? That also gives you an idea if we're expecting like 25 ticks or less movement during that same time frame. Now, going back over to industrial production, and let me pull that up. I'll do a quick analysis for you, put the pieces together. Looks like 7 a.m. we got 12 ticks. We got 3 the one before that. Looking at, scrolling back a little bit here, time change. Okay, got 9 ticks, 1 tick, 7 ticks. Man, that's a flat trade. Going on over to 17, got 6, got 8, 15, 3. I mean, this is nothing. We're literally talking about a 15 tick Iron Condor. So, I mean, there's no movement at all on this trade. So if you can get $15 or more on the trade, you can enter at 11 o'clock for a 7 a.m. You should easily be able to get 15 bucks on that. Then that actually could be an acceptable Iron Condor on this. So again, that's an 11 p.m. to a 7 a.m. expiration on the euro dollar, buying the lower spread, selling the upper spread for $15 minimum profit. Obviously, that's when I say these numbers, I'm talking about a contract. So you could be going in, you could be doing 1, you could be doing 10 for 150, you could be doing 100. Going in for 1,500. So it can be a nice, big, profitable trade for you. You just got to obviously add the volume in. And that's really, at the end of the day, that's how trading really works. You don't make money by making more trades. You make more by trading more size. And so you just got to build it up as you go. All right, well, that wraps up Friday, and that gives us the news report for the week. Let's go ahead and check out where we're at on our deviation levels for the day. And on each one of our instruments, like I said, we just wrapped up the S&P, up a deviation, pulling on back down at this point. We've had some other moves we can go into as well when we get back after this break. Stay right there. All right, folks, come on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. And so anyway, so we're putting all these different little pieces together and come up with a news plan. We want to go and go into the deviation levels as well. And let's see here. My daughter also just sent me a thing asking if I would mention her site on my show. So if you go to felicitymartin.com, she's doing a booster-thon where she runs laps. If she runs up to 35 laps, she's hoping to raise money for her school for computers. So if you're interested, you can check that out, felicitymartin.com. Anyways, I have to do that. Daddy asks, or daughter asks, daddy's got to do it, right? But if you want to check it out, if you want to help out her school. Okay, so let's check out. We got oil right now. It is sitting actually just beyond a deviation. It actually busted through a deviation, but it did it with heavy volume. And that's a big key. We're at these deviation levels is heavy volume. As you can notice right here, everything went on through. And it's like we had a little Google issue there. Hopefully everything's coming through for you. But heavy volume coming on through, and yeah, it is. So when this deviation levels hit, I can see right here, but notice how it busts through. I wouldn't expect a reversal when I'm getting that kind of reversal. Okay, when I'm getting that kind of big move. But anyway, so looking at that, we have that move, and that's really the main thing. Let's see, it's like we're maxing out some pieces on this. Give me 1 second. I got a little computer issue. We have to just go through and look at some of the movements on the day. TOS for the second while we're wrapping up here. Okay, so we got the S&P. Let me back this on out. We got it basically just oscillating flat on the day. I'm just trying to see if we got any kind of potential trade setups. Russell coming off of its highs right now. Let me back down to a little bit tighter time frame. There we go. So it's also bouncing off that deviation move. Looking over at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ heading down. Pretty much all the indices walking in sync right now. As you can see, they're turning right on back around. Hopping on into, just do a quick review. Got natural gas heading on back up. And oil looks like it might be trying to head on back up too, like right into the close here. Got another 30 minutes left on oil. Let's see here. We can look at our metals. You got copper pushing higher. Pit's already closed down on them though. Gold, a pretty flat day overall. And we got silver, almost a mirror chart there. And let's dive in. We had some nice moves. I mean, this was like perfect trends this morning on corn and on soybeans. Had a nice big run up there. Like I said, you see corn just flying up, and over a 1% move there. And we got soybeans also giving us just a beautiful, perfect trend. You can't ask for more than that. And so ended up really well, really solid. They're about to close on down on their pits. That knocks out our ag markets. We got our metal markets. We got our energy markets. We can go in and check out a few of our currencies, but euro, dollar, and most of these here are pretty flat after that monster move yesterday. As you can see where it just crashed down. So a lot of the energy taken out. We saw a little bit of pickup this morning, but going into Friday or Thursday, for Friday tomorrow, pretty quiet. Hopefully we'll get some activity. We'll see how Friday turns out when it's all said and done. Checking out the pound. Pound also pretty exhausted. Staying within a range there, but basically range bound, limited trading on the pound. And we'll dive into a few more pairs. Time's up. But we got the dollar franc range bounding as well, so some good butterflies there. I hope you all had a great day trading, and I will see you tomorrow right here on the Diagnostic Trading Hour. Y'all stay tuned for another great show coming up after this.